RVP Go Getters. Welcome YouTube, welcome DAC Zoom. All right, we're going to talk about some stuff today. First of all, happy Monday to everybody, and most importantly, happy MLK Day, Martin Luther King. So what a great leader, what a great man. I wish I could have met him. Obviously, you can listen to his speeches and you can learn through history what history reports about him. Fortunately, it's mainly very positive. It's unfortunate, an escaped convict, took his life. What could have been had he continued to be able to lead in person, as is the case with a lot of people. So we got to make our impact when we can. We got to make our impact when we can. Unfortunately, he was documented and he got out in front and did a lot of great things for people, led with not only a purpose, led with through his faith, but he was willing to risk his life. And as that famous speech said, he kind of knew, and he wasn't concerned about the risk of what he did. He kind of knew that he was putting himself at risk. And the prophets of the Bible, or the I shouldn't say the prophets, but well, some of them too, but the apostles, the 12 who went out to introduce the gospel of Jesus to people. Many of them were killed. They knew they were going to be killed, but they did it anyway because they were eyewitnesses of Jesus, rebirth and rising from the dead. And so they were willing to put themselves at risk. They were true leaders, true impact makers. And you look at MLK and he's very much the same. If he were born in Jesus' day, he would have done the exact same thing as those 12. In fact, he did continue to carry that torch and then added so much more. Young man, far younger than many of us. And what an impact he made in a short window of time. So it doesn't matter if you're 75, 85, 25, or 15. In the next 3 years, you can make a major impact. And is God calling you to do something? Is God calling you to be out there representing something that you need to step on the gas pedal and get done? Is there a book inside you that's supposed to be written? Is there a presentation supposed to be given? Is there a business like DAC that's supposed to be built? It is very, very important that we don't sit on the impact that God gave us to make. We don't sit on it. Nick Saban says that there's 5 types of performance. You can be bad at something, you can be average at it, you can be good at it, you can be elite, or you can be exceptional. And everybody can be bad at something just by not being active. You can be average by doing a little bit here and there. You can be good because of raw talent and charisma and personality and having great products in your hand and barrier to entry is lower. And it's websites, you can sign everyone up. You can be good just by going through the motion a little bit. But the people who become exceptional and become elite, they do the extra. They put in the extra. And they're sacrificing when people don't know it. They're doing, the Kobe Bryant was asked, how'd you score? Was it 40 or 60? I forget what he scored the last game he ever played. I apologize. I'm not I don't have it committed to memory, but I do remember what he said. He said, because I was training 8 hours a day, 365 days a year for a day like that. And they don't say that on ESPN. They only talk about the sports. That was what he said, not me. And that is interesting that people don't see the behind the scenes sacrifice. And so what I'd ask you is, you're here to get the go-getters plan and become a RVP goal getter to get out there and help people win. Does it matter if you know the workout plan if you don't go to the gym? Does it matter if you know the meal plan if you don't eat the foods? So what I'd ask you is, over the last 2 weeks, what type of activity did you step into the gym? Did you say no to the wrong foods, yes to the right foods? Obviously, I'm talking about an analogy to this business. Did you pick up the phone and represent DAC? Did you represent DAC in the marketplace? Did you represent DAC in your neighborhood? Did you represent DAC in your family? Did you represent DAC at all? If not, should you expect your performance to be good? Should you expect it to even be average? You certainly can't expect it to be elite or exceptional, right? So you definitely want to question that first before anything else. Okay, So we've got, I'm looking at, this is a success manual that we had for my last company, Escape, which we partnered with Youngevity, the personal starting strategy, and it was a workbook, and it came with a CD on the back because there was no such thing as website Zooms and stuff, but it had the whole plan built right out in it, right? And then we've got this book here, which is Explore Seminars, which was the training company I started to train people, the training of the trainers. And this has got everything in it that you can imagine to break down on how we duplicate everything so that everyone's teaching the same thing. And this is what I'm almost done with for DAC. It doesn't take a long time, but we've made a lot of change. Learn is what is required to getting customers, how to get customers, scripts, a bunch of different customer acquisition scripts, comp plan, and how to use customer acquisition to move through the comp plan. I mean, it just goes on and on. Recruiting conversations that work. Developing business partners. What do you do to develop upline referral script? You talk about edification, the importance of edification, types of effective presentations, how to do the effective presentation, how to do a three-way call, how to do the 4 steps of getting started. What is the etiquette during the presentation? These are all things that none of this has changed. The difference is you don't have to do some of this now. The presentation overview, the 7 steps. I got introduction, industry, company, comp plan, training, close. Those are the 7 steps. I've been taught those 7 steps in 1991. They're still the same today. They work. The difference is you don't have to do it all yourself because the internet and websites and applications and tools bring all that closer to home. So that's good news. But the only reason I'm showing you all this, and this was my fast start training in the free network, first company I ever launched, took a weekend to write this only. A weekend doesn't take. So why is this stuff not done? And it's a real neat workbook that you filled in all your stuff, right? Scripts in the back, appendix, your memory jogger, all these things. And this came with cassette tapes. Here's a look inside of our company. That's all the different things about the comp plan, how to fill out the applications because you had to do it yourself. There's no internet and you had to fax it. And every question you might get, how to answer those questions. All this simple stuff about the founders, about the industry, about network marketing. Okay. So I'm showing you all this only to say that these are what we're writing right now and what's near complete, which is our entire business training process. It's going to be a workbook. It's near complete. I promise you everything's going to be done this month. It'll all be done this month. We've only got 10 days left in this, or 15 days. It's all going to be done this month. And that's what your RVP go-getter plan is going to come from, right? So that's the blueprint of the whole house. Because here's the thing, guys, as I mentioned, are you stepping in the gym? Does it matter if I gave you this book right now? You know how many people we gave this personal starting strategy to? And we got this neat, cool thing with the CD right in the back and all the stuff, the years of experience that went into this little book right here. Years of experience and how to grow the plan and everything, sorting for apples, the amount of money I spent on these books. Do you know it was the same people who didn't need this book that made it? The same people who could listen and take the notes that made it? So we're making all this stuff, but I'm talking to you as the leaders right now. We got to understand it's deeper than this. This will come. But what the deepest thing is, I watched a presentation today. Someone said, are you teaching or are you preaching? And when he was talking to pastors, he said, if you're teaching, you're giving them information, but preaching is meant to move people. It's meant to, he said, the word of the Bible, the word is, it's called the hammer. It's called the sword. It's called fire. So it either lights you on fire or it pierces your soul a little bit to inspire you, or it smashes the boulder around you, the coldness. So there's something that message does. Jesus did that when he spoke. So before we get into the booklet that's coming, I almost dropped a hole. This is all notes from past companies. That all of it's been written. That's all going into the new system and improved because you don't have to do half that stuff anymore. But before we have all that, that's teaching. I want to talk to you about the most important role you have, and that's empowering the people you're working with, helping them go from cold to hot, helping them go from sitting on the bench to getting in the field, helping them go from knowing it to applying it. That is the skill that's going to get you to, that's the purpose you have as a leader. That is your purpose. It's not just communicating this message. This will all be on videos. This will all be on booklets. This will all be, people can pick this up and read this. People could pick this one up and read this. This is 1995. People could pick this up and read it. But it didn't matter if they weren't inspired by the message. It didn't matter if they weren't inspired by what they were doing. You're not going to get inspired by this book unless you read it. How many books have you bought you've never opened and read? Or you read one chapter and set it down? Most books don't get finished. So your role as an RVP goal getter is to grow through our goals. You need to do that. You need to be an example beyond the field, okay? I've formulated wellness products before. Do y'all know that? I understand how carbs work, fats work, protein works, all that stuff. I understand how antioxidants help your body and don't help your body. Which ones are, I'm not a super expert, but I'm more than the 99% of the population out there in my knowledge. But I'm 75 pounds overweight. I've worked out through all my athletic career, but I haven't played sports in years. So does anyone who's an athlete today look to me and go teach me some workouts? Heck no. Because I'm not in great shape. Does anyone look at me and say, hey, give me a good meal plan? Heck no. Does anyone come to me and say, hey, what's the best way for me to drop 45 pounds? Heck no. Because I'm not an example. So it doesn't matter if I know the meal plan. It doesn't matter if I know the workout. I'm not going in the gym. So I'm saying this to all of you guys. Are you being like me when it comes to my fitness in your business? Because if so, you got to ask yourself a question, just like I got to ask myself with my health. Does it matter to me to be an example? Yes or no? I'm not trying to influence people with my health, but I should do it just for my family, right? Just for my health and longevity. But for you to be a leader in this business, you need to do the business as an example. You won't attract people, leaders. You'll only attract followers who won't do a whole lot. If you're not being an example, you got to know that. You attract who you are. So I would ask you, I said this last week, but I noticed a lot of new production didn't happen from the people that are watching this. So I say, okay, they haven't gotten it yet. So my role, just like your role, is to you can't make an inactive person active, but you must communicate, teach or preach. And I don't mean preach something to sell something. I'm talking about sharing the good news of something in a way that moves people. So teaching is educating, but that's not going to move anyone off the starting block. Okay, unless they're already ready to go. They just want to understand a little bit more so they can go. But most people have been around for a month. They know everything they need to know to act. So our role then is to move people without touching them. That's the leadership role. How do you move people without touching them? This is how simple it is. Write this down if you don't already do this. If you want to move people without touching them, okay, you have to focus on them and their goals. You have to focus on them and their confidence in themselves. You have to focus on them and what they believe. That's all you have to do. You don't have to focus on anything else. One-on-one, you can do this. It's hard to do this as a group. I can say you can all do it. I can say all of you have done something in your past, and we do stuff like that. That's what Les Brown does, and that's what Jim Rohn does. And there's a lot of great motivational speakers out there that do that. And you should listen to them. Like them on your Facebook reels, and then all you'll get is those. And every morning you can wake up, I've got God stuff I liked and motivation stuff I liked. And every morning I turn on Facebook and I look at the reels for 10 minutes, and I've got little 30-second spots of injections of motivation and Christianity. That's my morning, right? And then I spend time alone in Bible study with my wife for a little while. That's my morning, because that's inspired. That lights me on fire to go live, to go be an example in my faith and in my business. Now, with that said, how do you move people without touching them? You focus on their reason why. You focus on their belief in themselves and their belief in this business. And then the belief in who this can help and when it can help them. Who this can help, forget the products for a minute, who this business can help and when it can help them. And what happens? Who can this business help? This business can help anybody who's looking to be entrepreneurial, who wants to make their own hours, and have a lifestyle of a business owner. Any one of those people. When can it help them? When they're ready to implement some activity of being a business owner. Being a business owner takes activity. There's an activity. Just like, when can I get in shape at Planet Fitness? When I'm ready to do the activity. So when can this be a benefit for anyone? Anytime someone's ready to start representing and doing the activity of our business. And then what happens when they do it? So people join DAC because they don't have a business opportunity where they can get out of their corporate job, and they want to get out of corporate job. And so when they start working with us, they now have an opportunity. They can make part-time income to be able to earn enough part-time to replace their current full-time job. So that's what we're representing, right? That's who DAC is. Our products are amazing for customers. We could talk about that. That's a separate part. It's the same mentality for customer acquisition. It's how do we help? How do we're trying to find the right fit. Finding impact together, fit, not ABC. Forget ABC, sales to always be closing. That means you try to make everyone fit. No, don't forget that always be closing crap. That's for the people that are just trying to make a round peg fit in a square hole. No one's going to refer you to do that. Instead, fit. Making impact together, finding impact together. What impact can we make together? When you recruit me, you're helping to find what kind of impact you and that new person can make together. When you talk to a customer about our funding, what's the impact you can make together? What is that business trying to do? What kind of impact is that business trying to make? Can working capital help them make it? What impact are you making? So it's the same thing with this business, leaders. You're stepping into the leadership role. And let me tell you this, you don't have to have a following yet to be a leader. You don't have a following until you become a leader. As soon as you take a stand and say, I am going to be a leader, you have to be an example first. But once you're an example, you can start being a leader immediately. And then your following may only be 3 people or 5 or 10 or 20. But in this industry, network marketing, multi-level marketing, when you love a company and you take the role of empowering and encouraging, and you take that leadership role, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have droves of people who are all unified. Our sorting process that people join our business through, it already gets rid of all the people that aren't interested in being an entrepreneur. It gets rid of all the people that don't want to make part-time money. It gets rid of all the people that aren't, it doesn't bring people in to make them fit unless they fit. So how can we find impact together with everyone you recruit? We're an army of entrepreneurs. We are an army of people who go, teach me the system, I'll run the system, and I'll inspire others to win in the system too. So you got to focus on the reason why. You got to know the reason why. Write this down. You got to be able to move people without touching them. Every person in your team, when you call them, you should know the reason why. The game plan, you and one-on-one game plan is getting to know the reason why they're doing this. And that's not because you want to manipulate them with it, but you want to help remind me and them. If you call me and remind me about not having grandkids yet, and one day you want to have grandkids and see great grandkids like your mom and dad have been able to do, so you forget how you look in the jeans, forget how you fit in your clothes, do what's healthy for your body to add years to your life. That reminds me of the only reason I want to get in shape. I'm not playing sports anymore. I don't need the athletic advantage. I'm not concerned about how I look in clothes, but I am concerned about adding years to my life with health. So that's what moves me. So if you remind me of that, you're inspiring me without telling me, hey, why didn't you go to the gym yet? That's not going to get me there. What's going to get me there is reminding me why I want to be at the gym. What's going to remind people to call customers isn't because they're going to make a commission. It's they want to make a commission here because of why. What is it they're trying to do? I'm trying to pay off all my student debt. Great. Imagine the day when you're going to have all that student debt paid off. You can do it in 24. This can be the year we can wipe up your whole debt. You don't have to wait for Biden to give the money away. You can actually do it yourself. You can actually get debt free by the end of 24. Get that house paid off. You can do it this year. You want to buy that special thing? What did you want to buy? I wanted to buy this and that. And great. Don't forget, that's why you're making these calls. Don't forget that's your benefit for making an impact with them. Now, what's their impact? You're making an impact in your community. You're making an impact in your community when you help someone get working capital. Now, if you want to also identify who this is not the right funding for, or not the right pharmacy plan, or not the right healthcare, right? I was talking to a friend of mine whose husband had a heart attack recently, and he had quadruple or triple bypass, something like that. Brand new situation. Our health share is not the right fit for him, but the major medical might be. So when you call the health shares, I'm not pitching the health share to them. Oh, you know how they're good. No, I want you to talk to them because I don't know your income and they'll put you in the right plan for this and this and this. We're trying to make an impact together with them, impact on their health, protecting them and saving them money so they can have protection. Right now, they do not have coverage. Come on now. They joined a discount program they thought was a great plan, but it doesn't cover anything for them. We got to make an impact for them. We got to make an impact for the business owners trying to make an impact in their community. They want to employ people. You talk to business owners. Why'd you start this bagel shop? I just love working with the community, man. I wanted to have a place where people wanted to go and have coffee on the weekends, where it brought the vacation feeling to home right there in the shopping center down the street. There's an ice cream shop about 30 miles from me that people drive from all over to get ice cream there because of the owner. The owner wanted to be a place where the whole community could enjoy the benefits of ice cream, but more importantly, the benefits of community. You can't muster that up. You either are that or you're not. Now, the question is, how can we make a bigger impact? You got lines out your door. Have you ever thought about, or is it possible you could duplicate this in another location? If we could get you working capital to do that, we could, man, imagine the impact if we had 2 locations. So this is the type thing you do. But now we're talking about recruiting a team right now. When you're working with me, how are you making an impact? How are you reminding me of why I'm here? Well, Dave, I just recruit them and make money on them if they make money. And I get myself qualified if they earn iron. Man, I got a great team. I got some real good potential. I'm going to make some good money in overrides. Are you leading them or just trying to leverage them and earn on them? See, leadership is you moving them without touching them, building a relationship with them. It's not everyone in your team. You're going to find out, you try it with everyone. You give them the benefit of the doubt they are a leader, and you give them that hour of time after they've gone through some assignments of trainings and getting started trainings and comp plan trainings. And then they call you and say, yeah, I've been through everything. And you say, great, let's have a game plan meeting. And on the game plan, you find out the reason why. You don't have to do that with every brand new rep. You're going to have hundreds of people join this business if you're out there promoting it. So you don't have to spend an hour with every one of them, but you can spend 15 minutes letting them know. And we're going to show you what the plan is and what to say to your brand new reps so that you give them the assignments so that then they are coming to you when it's completed. And now they've at least demonstrated through their activity they're serious about moving forward right now. Otherwise, the general system supports them and you support them from afar. So all I want you to take from today is your focus needs to be with your team. Yes, teaching them the system. But more importantly than that, because you can read a workout plan and you can read a meal plan, but until you're ready to implement it, until you're inspired to implement it, until you're inspired to do it, it means nothing. It means nothing. So having them get their training manual. Now, I know this helped us recruit a lot of people because the 90% who didn't want to work with their upline leader, mentor, they had a booklet they can go to. They had all their questions. So that's who it's for. But you as leaders, you're going to use that for the masses, which drives they're all links to leaders. You're going to make an impact through them, which is going to help them. But they have to decide. Planet Fitness is not waiting around for me to show up. They've even put tanning salons in there to move me in, and they've brought free massage machines to move me in, and they brought a lounge area where you can sit and just relax with Wi-Fi to bring me in. And they got stand-up sonic machines to bring me in. And they do all these things to bring me in, helping to inspire me, hoping that I'll come in and get in shape. So we can do all that too. But in the end, if Marlo says to me, let's remember our grandkids' conversation. Let's remember it buys me a few days. I shouldn't need it. I know I shouldn't need it. But you got some of your top producers aren't producing in life right now, but they're getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you're going to come across them. And I get vulnerable and I tell you about my fitness things because I'm speaking to the 90% of you who are vulnerably not doing crap in DAC. That's the reality. I'm not doing crap with my health, and you're not doing crap in DAC. Let's just be real. I can see it by the funding applications, by the customer applications, by the new recruiting. Maybe not any of you on here, but most of the people in DAC are not active. When someone says, how many reps do you have? Well, we have over 60,000 who've joined. How many active? I said, the only way I can tell you active is who's qualified in our pay plan and how many are submitting applications. I'd say about 1,000. 1,000 out of 60,000? Yeah. And of those 1,500 are really active. And they drive our company. Maybe only 250 are really active and drive our company. The rest are here, and we're glad to hear. How many are active at Planet Fitness? How many pay the membership? Thousands. How many are in the gym 5 days a week? How many are being excellent and elite? Very few. Very, very. How many are being good? Many. How many are being average or poor? Most. So, guys, you can all do it. You've got a reason why. If you don't have one, write down what it is. Part of the RVP Go Getters plan is you said you're going to be RVP, but why do you want to be RVP? Just because we talked about it, it's a plan. You can, okay, cool. I got a plan I can do. And that allows me to buy more time to actually get active. I got to learn the plan first. Once I learn the plan, then I can go. Is that why you're here? Or are you here because you go, no, at 6 figures, I get to do ABC. When I'm at 8,000, 9,000 a month residual, I get to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I want to do this for this person and that for this person. What are those reasons why? And just like I got to think about the reasons I want to be in shape longer and add years to my life for this business, for my family, for just the kingdom, for all kinds of things. I need to, body is Jesus' temple, right? So I got to take care of myself for all those reasons. I got to remember that, think about it regularly, remember it, think about it regularly. Then it's easy. Then life's easy. Then it's easy to say no to the food and say yes to the exercise. It's real easy then. And it's real easy for you too, if you can remind yourself of your reason why and think about it, ponder it all the time. It's real easy to help businesses and help consumers and help recruit others and give them that. It's real easy, but it's hard if you don't. As they always say, building this business is very easy. It's just a lot easier not to. So you got to have something that inspires you. Folks, it's Martin Luther King Day. This is a great day to remember a man who was willing to give up his life for what was right, And now, unfortunately, a lot of people are now trying to do things based on the color of your skin or your gender. They're trying to create favoritism for people based on the color of their skin or their gender. And isn't that what segregation is that MLK tried to stop? Have we swung too far the other way now? Would MLK say, hey, wait a minute, we don't need to have ABC given to us because we don't need special treatment. We don't need, because I'm a woman, special treatment. We don't need because I'm my melatonin in my skin makes me brown or yellow or red or white. We don't need any special treatment. Let's let the character of who we are and the quality of who we are demonstrate whether we get something or not. Isn't that what he said? Isn't that what he wanted? There was a day when you had black bathrooms and white bathrooms. We don't anymore, but are we going back there where now it's like, well, you get to be hired if you're a minority Asian. We're going to hire at least 40% Asians, even though the population is not that. Isn't that completely the opposite? Isn't that only setting up a future civil war of the opposite? So let's follow his lead rather than taking his lead and saying, now there's other things that have to happen. Hey, this is a free business. I don't ask your race. I don't ask your religion. I don't ask anything when people join this business, and we don't discriminate a bit against anything. Start asking, all that can happen is discrimination. Why do you need to know? How about don't ask what ethnicity someone is on an application? Don't even ask what color they are when they apply for college. Don't ask what their gender is when they apply for college. How about you look at the transcripts and you look at the resume and you look at the essay and you say yes based on the quality of the candidate rather than all this other segregation crap. MLK said end the segregation. And if you're still a bigot who is a racist, then you probably don't fit here at DAC and you're not watching this, but you're around people who are. And just so we all know where we stand, I don't care if you're a Muslim, I'm a Christian. I don't care if you are. I don't hate you for that. You have a belief in the same God I do. Who you believe other than that? Now, I want you to consider Christianity. And if we ever sat down for an hour and talk, I would love you and hear you out. And I'd want to share with you why I think Christianity is the religion you should believe in, and that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, not just a prophet, as your Bible says, but actually he said he was the Son of God, and you can't be a prophet and a liar. So which one is he? I think he's the Son of God. But you know what? I don't ask you your religion when you come into this business, and your paycheck doesn't say, wait a minute, can you say that you love Jesus Christ first, and then we'll pay you? Can you tell me what color you are so I know what comp plan to put you in? Can you tell me what comp plan is so I know whether to start you at the area director rank or the agent rank? Because if you've been treated unfairly 200 years ago, we're going to start you at regional vice president. That's segregation, guys. I'm not proud of what America was when it first started, but that doesn't mean we got to repeat the same darn process and do the same thing and give a bunch of stuff that tells you you're not as good as the other people. You don't need special treatment if you're a minority. Females, you don't need special treatment. You don't, from anybody. You are more than capable to whoop us men's butts in performance. Everything I just said about moving people without touching them, females have an advantage in that. You're more nurturing. You're more, as long as you're bold enough and strong enough to believe it, you'll whoop the man's butt. Just a fact. So I don't want to get political, and I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but it is MLK Day, and I just love what he stood for. I love what he. I wish he was still here standing for it, and I don't want to get it polluted with, oh, you're a woman, so we're going to start you at the regional trainer rank. Oh, you're a Hispanic woman, so now we're going to start you at the regional director rank. Oh, you're a Black woman, we're going to start you at the national vice president rank. Oh, you're a man, sorry, you got to go back to the front of the line, and you don't get to start yet. You got to wait till everyone else talks to that client first, and after they all talk to that client, then you get to talk to that client. It's horse crap. MLK would be rolling over in his grave if he saw where we become. So let's get out there and lead what is fair and do what is right for our clients. Let's make a right fit. And if this turned any of you off, then it was supposed to. If it turned you on, then it was supposed to. I love you all. God bless you all. Have a great week. The workbook's coming. I can't wait to see it all.